we actually live this time? Are we actually live? Is anybody here? Is anybody? What's the small? Ha! This is attempt number 5, I think. Hey! It says live, but is the screen working or is it frozen? We've had really issues. Really issues.
Much better.
Hey. Okay, cool. So it looks like it's working. And yeah, where that is that's on the coast. We sailed here from Ibiza. We sailed from Barcelona to Ibiza. We sailed. Delete that one. Delete. And
Screen glitchy. So yeah, the connection's going to be a little bit iffy.
It froze. Is it working for people, or the number is dropping? So they are probably
getting booted from our team. Don't move!
Is it working? Can you at least hear us? Please, keeps freezing. Working now. So it looks like it's intermittently working. That would probably be obnoxious. Hello from England. You're good now. Okay, so it's working now. All right, so we're in Spain. This is me and the crew. We got Tara and Jackson and Dylan, and we're really pixelated. We are in Spain, and we have been on, and we are sailing the Mediterranean. So it's happening, which is cool, very cool. So basically what's happened since last time I live streamed, I was in Florida. And in Florida, I had just finished up a sailing course, a 5-day sailing course, and I was about to meet these two. And then we were going to get on a cruise ship and go across the Atlantic and come to Barcelona. And so that happened. We went on a 14-day cruise across the Atlantic. We've all officially crossed the Atlantic before, which is cool, and ended up in Barcelona. And what was it, like 3 days before we got to Barcelona that we found a boat? I think maybe. It was like less than. It was definitely less than a week before we got to Barcelona that we got a boat, confirmed the boat. So we got to Barcelona, hung out in a coffee shop for like 6 hours, and then headed over to our boat, the Morgan 38, which is currently named C++. And we then purchased that boat from Andre and immediately moved aboard. So we went from cruise ship straight onto a sailboat in Barcelona, which is great because whenever I was explaining it to everybody, I was like, best case scenario, we move straight onto a sailboat and we just get into it. Most likely scenario is we go to Croatia and buy a boat there. But it totally worked out. So it's working. And for the past, let's see, today is the 9th. So we've had the boat for over a month now. And see if we can pull that back up, Jackson. We've had the boat for over a month, and we had it for 3 days, 2 days. On the 11th, we got on it on the 6th. On the 11th, we sailed from Barcelona to Mallorca, and that was a 25-hour sail, I believe, and that was over 100 knots. It was my first sail as skipper and our first sail together. We had done a brief, like hour and a half, 2 hour sail a couple days before with Andre, the previous owner of the boat, to like get, feel for the boat and all of that. But then we immediately took off on a 25-hour sail from Barcelona to Mallorca, to Pollença, Mallorca, which is a bay in the north part of the island, if you're familiar with the Balearic Islands. So first place we sailed was to the Balearic Islands, which was cool, crossing half the Mediterranean, doing a night crossing. And then we were trying to sail Ibiza to meet up with a friend and get all of, like, do some more traveling and do like a mini adventure before we fixed up everything on the boat, because there's some stuff that needs to be fixed up. And as we were going, the engine overheated, and it took us 3 days to do a sail that should have taken like 26 hours. And once we finally started moving, it took us 36 hours, I think, to get from Mallorca, well, near Mallorca to Ibiza. So that was only like, I think it was like an 80 nautical mile, maybe a little further than that sail, but it took us 3 days. And so we were having all sorts of engine issues. We didn't have any wind for a while. It was all like against us. So we could have like sailed there, but we would have tacked the whole way, and we probably could have tacked there faster than it just would have been miserable. Anyway, got to Ibiza, hung out in Ibiza for like a week. My friend Danny came down and we hung out with him, and we've been here. And now we're about to head up to Sant Rapita, and there we're going to pull the boat out of the water and do a full-on inspection and clean it all up, because there's still some more stuff we need to do. And then hopefully on the 27th of June, we will have a renaming ceremony, and everything will be all work days on the boat. And that's what's happening. So, now,
I'm having a hard time pulling up
comments.
Before.
Nope. This one? Nope. This one? Nope. Top chat, live chat, live chat. Go away. There we go. Can we pull them all up? We should be able. There we go. You can scroll through them. That's a lot. Oh, don't block the camera. From Orlando, Florida. Tuning in from Orlando, Florida. We're in Zibia, Spain. What's up, guys? It's working. Say hello. Hi. So I'm going to go ahead and read through these. And why don't one of you start telling your background as to how you got here? Rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins goes first.
I mean, you can just go first if you want, Tara.
Thanks, Joe. All right. Well, my name is Tara. I guess I joined, it's been a little bit, a month and a half now. My background is I've also lived in a van, so I'm used to kind of small spaces and traveling. I've always really loved traveling. Studied plant medicine last year, so I wanted to come and start learning how to sail, learning the plants in Europe and whatnot. So that kind of brought me here, and I think that's it. I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
That's my story.
Short, concise?
Yeah.
I think mine's pretty concise too. So I'm a filmmaker based out of Toronto. I believe the summer before the summer, I checked across Canada with my roommate.
Somebody asked me if I have a minor form of autism. Probably. I don't know. You tell me.
Anyway.
You've been living with me for the past 2 months. You tell me.
Anyway, so we hitchhiked across. We made a short documentary. That's on our Vimeo. But I've been working and making my own short films. I've also done some sailing. In 2015, I spent 2 months in Greece living on a 90-foot gaff rig schooner with 12 other people. So it was similar, but a bit of a bigger boat and definitely more people. But also a really good experience, and that's part of the reason why I responded to the video. And yeah, I joined on about a month and a half as well, and here we are.
Here we are. Somebody gave us $10, but I can't find it in the comments. But there it is.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
Colette.
Colette
Millette. Colette Millette. Thank you very much. We do appreciate you. And so now, does anybody have any questions for us? So far, we've just been getting different people saying, hey, how's it going? What's up from Kansas? Cutting wheat. Do you believe you can be too old to travel for this kind of travel? Travel is like a lot of, just 95. And if you're physically, most of traveling is just the mindset of like having to do it or needing to do it or just not willing to not do it. How is our connection doing? Is everybody feeling us? Because that should be higher if our connection is going well, but I'm not sure. next person to comment, let me know what the connection. It's a little glitchy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably true. We're running off of Wi-Fi from a cafe in the marina where our boat's at. We were trying to live stream from the boat. This was like our 5th attempt of live streaming, and cuts out sometimes, freezes sometimes. That's a bummer. Not well. A little choppy, fuzzy, and pixelated.
Sorry about that, guys.
This is why we've been trying to do like a live stream since the cruise, but for a live stream you need like fast internet because you've got to have fast upload speed, and that's not been happening. So that's unfortunate, but we have some people, and it's good. So it seems like it's working for some people, and other people it's not. So we'll just keep going.
Listen to spoiler on your laptop. Dig it.
Buffering. I want to hike some week-long trails, but I'm scared of encountering dangerous people, homeless drifters, etc. Is that common? Well, I would say that depends on where you're hiking, right? Like if you're hiking under bridges, like exclusively, you might have issues. I don't know. Like it just all depends on where you're hiking. Any of the main hikes that people do, like through hikes, like either the Triple Crown, any of those in there, they're all safe because people do them all the time. Most of the thing I found out, depending who you are, like locationally speaking, whether you're in Buenos Aires or you're in New York City, it's just like all about paying attention and keeping aware of what's around you and who's around you and what you're doing. And as they say in the sailing world, as long as you keep your wits about you, you'll be fine. So that's what I would say to that. Any other advice?
No.
You hitchhiked.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, as far as my hitchhiking experience went, you, of course, hear all sorts of horror stories of people getting murdered on the sides of highways. And I don't think we felt unsafe approaches from any person while we were hitchhiking. I mean, everyone was incredibly friendly, and maybe that's just Canadians picking up other Canadians, but, like, in my experience, at least hitchhiking anyway, people are generally friendly, and the horror stories are overblown, in my opinion anyway, in my experience.
You have any advice, Tara?
Yeah, don't be afraid. It's not that scary out there.
I agree. I've hitchhiked in Chile and Argentina, and I had a fine time going about it. It took me a while to get picked up, but like it worked. I got to where I was going. It was like a 5-hour drive to get to where I was going. I think it took me like 18 hours, but I made it. So it's much better than walking. Would I ever consider a through hike? Maybe. Definitely not right now. I've got too much going on. And I'm living on a boat, so it would not be cool like leave the boat for 3 months since just got on it, but maybe one day. I know my brother's been talking about doing the Triple Crown, so I don't know. Maybe I'll do part of it. Tara's father just did the Camino in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Have either of you done? What's the longest hike you've done?
Ooh, I only did like part of the Manantario, which is like not even. It's no PCT or like Appalachian Trail or anything, but it's a couple day hike, and I did part of that. That's about the extent of my like through hiking.
Tara?
I've done 5 days backpacking trip, not a through hike, but more of a loop. It was great though, loved it.
What tips would you give someone who wants to start life on the road? Well, it depends on how you want to do it, because the way that I've only ever done it is I've only ever worked while traveling. I've never actually just traveled. I've never traveled, like I have traveled off of savings. That doesn't mean I was making money the whole time. The first 2 years of me traveling, I was losing money. And then it finally like started to work, but I've only ever worked and traveled. So what I would say is like, if you're going to figure out like how you want to do it. If you want to do short stints for trips, then you can do that off of savings. If you want to, you could do seasonal work, right? Like a lot of people do that, work, save, travel. Or if you want to work full time, you have to figure out how to make money on the road. And that's like the most difficult part of sustaining a nomadic lifestyle, is figuring out how to make it work. So if you can do those things, then you could do it. That's my advice. Do you have any advice?
Yeah, I would say like take I would like start tailoring like little aspects of your life to like kind of lead in that direction. Before even Dylan posted his video, I was considering transferring my waiting job from one restaurant to another just so I could do some more hiking in the Canadian Rockies and being out in one of the small towns up in the mountains. So like that might be a stepping stone into like living on the road of just like picking up your job and going to a different city and experiencing it that way.
What was the question? How to get
Advice
started
for starting on the road.
Oh yeah, just little steps at a time. I think start thinking about where you want to get creative with it, make it your own, and yeah, just enjoy.
No sunshine, would you survive? Yes or no?
Yes, but
No.
I wouldn't thrive. Survive.
I'm a survivor.
Survivor.
That's not what I meant to do. Just had a vacation in Barcelona. Hey yo, positivity and happiness. That's their name on YouTube. Wish I had your life. It took a while to create, so definitely believe that your life is what you create it. So go ahead and create the life you want to have. The Scottish Highlands could prove you a man. Strap up them limbs. I said glins, probably limbs.
That's our hue.
Wait, or Hugh? I don't know. But yeah, probably.
We'll look that
And he's Scottish, so that probably made perfect sense to him. He's like, you didn't understand that? No, I didn't. What are some of your 10, 20-year goals with food? I don't have that far. That's so far out, 10 or 20 years. Like, I have a rough 2.5 direction. Yeah, and that is sail the Mediterranean, then the Caribbean, and then the Amazon jungle. Let's see. Next question. What are your thoughts on suicide of Mr. Bourdain from CNN show Parts Unknown? So that was super sad. Tara informed me yesterday that Anthony Bourdain, if you don't know, killed himself, and that is super unfortunate. For a lot of people, I mean, Anthony Bourdain was a huge inspiration, a guy that's traveled the world, and it's just sad to hear. Like, it makes you wonder what was going on in his life and how it was going, because like from what I've heard about his life, he was like super into jiu-jitsu and obviously traveling and food and work, but he like worked all the time. I don't know the guy. I don't know what his life was like, but sad to hear, and thoughts go out to his friends and family. And yeah, it'd be interesting to know what his thoughts were previous though, but that will probably never be known. Do you have any thoughts about Mr. Bourdain?
Pretty much the same. It's just really sad to hear, and yeah, he was an inspiration, I think, to a lot of people, and just the way he lived and traveled is, yeah, really, really sad to hear. So.
On that note, back to Scotland. I remember we were told to hike in Scotland. I remember your first video, amigo. How strange you came so far, thanks. Keep up the good vlogs. I'm out. Glens are hills in Scotland.
All right,
Nice.
gotcha.
Understood.
We'll look it up.
I don't know anything about Scotland. I also don't know anything about any of the places I travel to. That's how I do it. When you drop the kids off at the pool, is it uncomfortable? In the boat,
That's awesome.
it works. It works. What are your big tips in order to travel for longer stints? My tips for reducing costs. Well, the main one is like your main costs when traveling are food and shelter. So if you can figure those two out on the cheap, you can figure out how to travel cheap. And then the actual moving process can be expensive if you're using planes, but there's all sorts of ways to get around that, like trains, walking, buses, public transport, even planes. There's a lot of cheap plane tickets too. But anyway, the two main things are food and shelter. So food, number one rule is like if you're trying to save money, don't eat out very often. Cook most of your food. and shop at the grocery store just like you would do at home. Like if you're trying to do something that is sustainable, you want to live it in a sustainable manner, right? And so you're going to live just like you would if you're living in one place, but you're just going to be moving. So we go to the grocery store all the time and get food. So that's one way to save money. And then the other way is to cut down on your housing, hotels, hostels. You could do Airbnb. You could do things like couch surfing. You could do work away, work trades. You could do live in a van. You could travel by boat. You could travel by RV. You could backpack. You could tent camp. You could hike. Yeah, it just depends on how you want to do it. There's all sorts of ways to cut down on prices. You could travel hack with credit cards if you're into that and know how to and are in a country where that's offered. What other ways? Cut down on travel costs. Anything else?
I think the work exchange programs, the work away, I think is super helpful. I've done that quite a bit and stayed places. Work exchange for just a free stay and food, which is nice, and you get to meet a lot of people that way. And yeah, I think you mentioned most of them.
Since he says act like I'm not going to see it, Elijah Allison says Dylan is gonna act like he don't see our cracker comments.
Yeah.
Acknowledged. Van or boat is the cheapest way to travel full time. I mean, it just depends on how you want to do it. You could do a van super cheap, or you could do a van super expensive. Boats are harder to do cheap because boats are expensive.
Yep.
But you could also do a boat cheap.
Yeah, it's been super nice. We've been anchoring in a lot of places, and it's completely free to stay. So that
but
helps
boats
a lot.
also need a lot of maintenance because salt water is just abrasive on everything. It's kind of like a constant, like, you need to fix something.
Yeah, the thing with either van or boat travel, the main expense is like the dwelling, right? Just like anything, like living in a house. The main expense is living in a house. So is buying the house, and so buying the boat, buying the van, but figure out ways around that to make it cheaper. And then it all depends on how comfortable you want to be. If you want to be super comfortable, it's going to be way more expensive. If you're being uncomfortable, then you can do it cheap. No way that you can live in an apartment in London, if you work normally, so living in a boat in a secured, that was probably a 2 comment. But yeah, like I said, the expensive part about the boat is the boat itself. If you're staying in marinas full time, that's normally pretty cheap. It's normally less than rent would cost. But the other option is to anchor, and anchoring is free, and it's fun. Which YouTube channel, if any, got you inspired when you set out? When I started on YouTube, with the intention of making it my career. And I was like, well, okay, how am I going to do that? Well, I definitely want to travel. That's like number one thing on my list that I want to do. And so how could I create a YouTube channel that allows me to do that? And really the only idea that came to mind at the time was like travel videos. And so I looked on YouTube. I didn't watch like any travel on YouTube. I was a watcher of YouTube, but not of the vlog types. And so I just searched like travel YouTube, and people like Fun for Louie, Mr. Ben Brown came up, and I basically saw their stuff, and I was like, oh, they've done it. I could totally do it. Like, I could definitely make it happen. And I tried to do the whole travel thing for a while, and it did not work for a long time, and did 2.5 years of losing money, and then switched to what we're doing now, which is the short documentaries on alternative styles of living, which is now working. And so it just took me a while to figure it out. But initially, some of the inspirations were Fun for Louie and Mr. Ben Brown. But previous to that, in filmmaking, just in general, it was like the Jack Scott brothers, Neistat, obviously, and Philip Bloom. There's some other ones too. But either of you have YouTube channels that inspire you?
Ooh.
Yours did.
Yeah.
Like yours. I don't really watch too much YouTube, but
yeah, I mean, as far as like all Outliving Spaces YouTube channels. I'd say watching yours, Kristen Dirksen, Exploring Alternatives, were a bunch that were like excellent thought provokers because they definitely introduced a different idea to like architecture, which interested me as far as like, okay, like there's definitely better ways we could be doing things and like borrowing that from other cultures.
Toronto, Canada. Dude, why? I have friends who live in the boats in London on the canals. Yeah, there's a lot of people that live on riverboats, which would be a cool way to do it if you had the opportunity. You've traveled by land and now water. Will you ever consider flying around the world? Maybe, but it's definitely like you're going to use the most fossil fuels if you decide to fly everywhere. Which is interesting because like going from van to boat, it's like upscale in space and comfort, but also downscale a bit in environmental impact, which is cool. Secured marina is okay. So this is who is saying
Continuation of the London comment. Yeah.
Live in London, living in a secured marina is a lot cheaper for me than to live in an apartment. A lot of people now, oh no, live in secured marinas or micro houses. Yeah. There's a lot of places that it's just not affordable to live, and you've got to figure out a different way to do it if you actually want to live there. Earth bag home or ship container home.
Between those two, Earth bag, I think.
Earth bag, for sure.
Earth bag. The shipping container to me is cool, but I don't want to live in one. That doesn't make sense, Elijah. We really do deserve it. Hard work pays off.
Oh, because you acknowledged his comment.
Oh.
That's Rolando.
Let's see. Oh, those are the people. Yeah.
Validation. There you go. Yeah.
All right. So, any questions specifically for Jackson here or Tara? Dope. Canada. Hey, DNS Adventures finally caught the live stream. Great to have you.
You did it.
How's the live stream going? Like, is it still? Hey, Scott, the ozone guy.
Oh.
Thanks for the entertainment.
Hey.
Thank you, Scott, for the donation. You're a true brother. Appreciate you. Cape Town. Somebody's from Cape Town. Jackson, can you tell us where to find
my
your
film work? All right, so I have a website, jacksonhpeters.com, that should link most of my directorial stuff and stuff that I've been specifically behind the camera. As far as just technician work, that's not really on there, but that's like the short films I've directed, like the Hitchhiking doc should be there. That's jacksonhpeters.com.
Also, that's linked up in the description of the past few videos because Jackson's been helping with the editing and also with the shooting and the filming. So all of his stuff is linked up and credited in the descriptions where you can find him if you're interested. What would you do if you won the lottery? I don't play it. So I can't win it. What about you?
Oh, if I did win it, I'd probably buy a piece of land, have a garden, and a small house, and create things.
I feel like I've been asked this question before. It's just like I feel like I wouldn't change too much from what we're doing now.
Yeah.
It's like this is pretty good.
Every time I hear a question about winning the lottery, I always think of what Rogan said about it, and he's like, "The lottery will ruin you." And like the only way to make it worth it is like to actually earn it and work for it and figure out how to make $1 million that way instead of like getting it handed to you. Because as soon as you get something like that handed to you, generally people get entitled and it like destroys their lives. You never like hear good things about people that won the lottery, generally speaking. But yeah, also you got to play it to win it, and I play it. So. It's a hypothetical I don't choose to engage in. What type of sunscreen do you guys use? I personally just use coconut oil. I don't remember what the other stuff is.
Yeah, it was like some...
I don't know what it is.
Something from like Whole
Zinc.
Foods.
Oxide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have a specific brand to recommend. We just try to pick something that's,
Decent ingredients in it.
yeah, not gonna completely poison you. I feel like I just like look through the stores and just look at everything. I'm like, that's poison. That's probably poison. That's definitely poison. But then I just buy it all anyway.
Oh.
Summer there, yes. In
Yes.
Spain, it is summer. It is beautiful. The sun goes down at like 9:15, 9:20 p.m., which is amazing, and it comes up at like 6:30 in the morning. So it's
Long
like
days.
always
Yeah.
bright, which is awesome.
Winter.
It's winter there. Where are you, John?
Australia?
Joanne?
Somewhere in the southern hemisphere, I guess.
Summer there, yes. Answer that. From Arctic Russia.
Oh,
That's cool.
Hey.
Rockland Country, New York. It's pretty rainy, good for Cape Town. Oh, yeah, that's right, Cape Town.
Right.
Oh, yeah, what's going on with that drought in Cape Town? I heard about that. I thought they were going to run completely out of water. But I guess they didn't. I mean, people still
Not that
living.
it's raining.
Chilling in my hammock, watching this stream. Love the updates.
That's the only way to do it.
Takes us forever to get through the grocery store. Got to look at the back of everything. Sun go down at 10 p.m. Cool. So does anybody have any more questions for either of these two specifically? When was... Oh, you're debating politics. So the plan is to the goal of the live stream was basically just to give you guys an update. We've been trying to do a live stream for the past like 3 weeks, and there's been like a huge learning curve in moving onto a sailboat, having a crew, and then working together as a team to create videos and travel and fix up the boat and learn how to. And in a country where we don't speak the language and we don't really like I don't know. I don't research in as I'm traveling. I just go there and figure out. That makes it more difficult as well. So anyway, there's a giant learning curve, and the goal is to like get to a point to where we're consistently uploading at least 2 videos a week, and then also doing at least a monthly live stream, if not more frequent than that, and then also be way more engaged on the Patreon, and then also roll up the Instagram and get all of that so it's consistent and rolling smoothly. But first, the main focus is like get the boat to where the boat needs to be, and so that's what we've been focused on. We did that short sailing trip, which was great because that was like an introduction to sailing for all of us. It was super intense and we learned a lot, and I think it was really important for us to take. And we also it's like whenever you're building a house, you at least whenever I built my van, I would sit in it whenever it was empty, and I traveled in it with it empty for a while until I figured out where I wanted everything. That's basically what we did. Was like we traveled in the boat together for a little while to kind of like, okay, this is all empty. How are we going to structure everything now so that it makes sense and works, actually works well? But it's been going great. I mean, like, these two are just an absolute pleasure to live with, and we've been getting along great, and it's been 2 months, I think. Has it been 2
really
months?
Close to 2
Month
months.
and a half.
Yeah, and it's still going well, and we all still like hanging out, so it's been going great. But we're still in the process of getting it into a well-oiled machine, but wanted to give you guys an update. What do you love best about Spain so far?
The people have been wonderful, and the scenery is gorgeous. We took a drive up to the northern coast all last week, and it was just absolutely beautiful. But I really love the people here. They're super kind and friendly, and good stuff.
Yeah, I think the site, as like someone who's like very vision oriented, like pictures and images, is just like picturesque landscapes everywhere, and it's like every variety.
Northern Spain is absolutely phenomenal. I didn't know anything about it, and we got up there, and it's some of the most gorgeous landscapes I've seen in my life. rolling green hills and like foggy, rainy weather with dark granite rocks. It was just gorgeous. Super fun roads to drive. So the landscape and scenery around here has just been phenomenal. And then also, I don't know, everybody in Spain has been super nice, but this town in particular, Yaibia, is like amazing. We just sailed over because it was kind of the closest point from Ibiza to get on the mainland Spain, and there are anchorages here, and it's a gorgeous place to anchor. And everybody here is phenomenally kind and super helpful. Especially the people at this marina. They've been like letting us keep our dinghy over there for free and use the showers while we're anchored.
Yeah.
So great.
Wonderful.
Just bought a schoolie. I take possession in 1 month. I will in my own schoolie thanks to watching your videos. We have always been anointed.
That's awesome.
Cheers, person. I hope that you have a great time in your schoolie, and I'm glad that I've been of help. Are there more questions? This is just Elijah and John and talking back and forth. Oh, Elijah, thanks.
Thanks, man.
I'm just like shitting on you, and then I scrolled up and he gave us money. Thanks.
Oh.
I've been watching for a while and just bought. Oh, that was the schoolie. One last thing: we're sitting eating fajitas, drinking beers, watching Pitch Black. Haha! Oh man, life. Big followers in Scotland, bro. School yourself. We want to see you here. Okay, so I guess maybe the live stream went down for Sean. Sorry about that, but we're doing the best that we can do right now. Love your hair, Tara.
Thank you.
I almost don't understand, but I picture your videos and ideas for lifestyle. I think I know what you're saying, and I appreciate it. Hi, I just logged on. I'm leaving for Spain tomorrow. Where in Spain are you? Yaibia. It's spelled X-A-accente B-I-A. But we're leaving on Monday. So, headed north. How old are you? 23. Cape Town, more about Cape Town. Any seasickness? Yes, the first sail, the 25-hour sail from Barcelona to Mallorca. Tara threw up twice, and I threw up once.
It was
Undefeated.
pretty rough. Yeah.
I don't think Jackson's thrown up
No,
yet.
I have a strong sea
That
stomach.
was our only trip that we actually threw up, I think.
Yeah.
So
Also,
We're doing
everybody
okay
was
now.
everybody was asleep when I threw up, so
Didn't count.
yeah. I could have just like kept it on the low
He was
down.
honest about it.
But yeah, a little initiation onto the water.
Yeah.
But I haven't had any issues since, and I feel like I've got relatively used to the movement.
Yeah, the first trip we didn't even have dinner or cook or anything because we were all so sick, and then now we're
Yeah.
down there cooking like pros.
That's right.
Yeah, the first sail, we were sailing like
Right into the waves.
it was like a close haul pretty much the whole time, so it's the least comfortable point of sail. So what that means is hold this laptop so it doesn't fall. If you're sailing, the wind is coming this way. You can only straight in front of you. You can't sail because you're right into the wind. You have to go uncomfortable. But if the wind's coming this way and you're sailing this way, it's super comfortable because you're going with the wind. But that's how it worked. And we got there. It was just not comfortable. Are you guys doing any charity work on this trip, helping out anyone or doing anything cool? I don't have any charity work planned, but yeah, I mean, the main thing is like focus on making videos about alternative ways of living, and I think in its own way is like doing good. And so yeah, that's the plan. It's not, I don't know, like for me, all of travel is work and all of work is travel and all of life is work. And so it's just like trying to work in a way that is beneficial to the rest of humanity, hopefully. And however we do that, whether it's working with charity or just working on our own, The goal is to be helpful. We feel a little sick if we forget to put the stabilizer jacks down on the RV. Guess no sailing for us.
You get used to it.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yeah,
on the RV.
I don't know what a stabilizer jack is. Takes a lot of courage. So glad you have each other. And so all the responsibility defers to me, and everything that happens on the boat is my responsibility. And if there's like a decision that needs to be made, I have to make it. And so there's been like the upstep of confidence that comes from like having that position, and it's super intimidating in the beginning, but everything's intimidating. You'll do it and you'll get braver. And I really do believe that the universe rewards courage. It's 4:10 Saturday, June 9th.
What about you?
It's 10:11
Mm-hmm.
June 9th
That's right.
p.m. So 20 to 11. Do you guys talk to Ben and Mia from
I'd like to reach out to them soon. I've been meaning to, but I haven't talked to them lately.
They're
But
saving the
hi,
world.
Ben and Leah, if you do see this. And Alaskita.
They're saving the world by living on a boat. I hope so. You've helped me. I'm glad. Tara, your hair makes me look like.
Makes you
Makes you look like an even cuter animal. Dog emoji.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions? More chair. That's the same ones we're looking at. Joanne Houston is turning 17 on Monday. Happy birthday.
birthday.
Early birthday.
To you.
Woohoo.
Hey. Yeah, Elijah, I am aware I'm reading these out of order. I'm trying to scroll through them and like cull them as I read and still do a live stream, which is incredibly difficult. Let's see if there's any new ones at the bottom. The universe really does reward people with God hearts. You guys are so awesome. I hope you find everything you're looking for! Exclamation point.
Thank you.
Well, hello over there. Will you guys go to Italy? Yes. Probably be in Italy in July is my guess. The plan is Spain pretty much for the month of June, and then like the end of June be in France, and then do the coast of France is like relatively small comparatively to the other coast, and do France, and then do Italy, make it all the way around to Italy, and then we need to be in Croatia by August before our visas expire. It's not really a visa, it's a Shenzhen agreement, but same difference. Ever doing an awesome solar build? I want to add more solar to the boat, so I hope it'll be awesome. Heart from Paltone. Heart back to you. Hi guys. Hey, it's my mom. Hey mom.
Mickey.
We say hi from Spain.
Yes.
Miss you and hope you're doing well. Hope Kansas, Missouri is treating you well. We've been having a grand old time. Let's see. Any more comments? Otherwise, we'll start to wrap this up. Will Stewart, you gonna be in Italy in July? Because that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do a meetup. I wonder how many people would come to a meetup in Italy. Where would we do it? What city would be the best city to do a meetup in Italy?
I don't know.
Rome? I don't know. I've never been to Italy.
Yeah, we'd have to.
I know that Rome is in Italy, and the Vatican's in Italy,
Yes, in Rome.
and spaghetti.
Yeah.
That's all I know about Italy.
And spaghetti.
I know a lot about
A lot.
spaghetti. Maybe check out our Cachon, France, Southwest. It's on the
Ah.
bay. Very cool. Noted. Go to the city of Cork in Ireland. Would love to. Ireland. It would take us so long to get to Ireland.
Sailing takes a long time.
Yeah. Are you determined to do scuba, Sir Jackson?
Yeah, I really want to scuba cert.
That's your mom.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, Colleen.
Yes.
Great to have you. He's been doing a great job.
Yes.
We're keeping him
guys.
healthy and eating tons of steak and doing push-ups. Go see Cersei in Yamal called Sail Hard. City Yamal in Yamal. I don't know what that means. Romania. We'll be by Romania at some point. Croatia's right next to Romania, right? It's pretty close. No, maybe Montenegro's right next to it. There's a lot of little countries over there that I'm not exactly sure the exact geography of. If you go to Italy, I have a dear friend named Pina in Abruzzo who will roll out the red carpet for you. That'd be great. Let us know where in Abruzzo. I don't know where that is. Do you know where Abruzzo is?
We'll look it up.
Yeah.
Any more comments before we wrap this up? Because it's getting late. It's 10:15. Hello from Michigan. Slava Ukrainian.
Love you.
Okay, if there's any more questions, throw them in. But thanks for watching this live stream. I hope the connection was okay. We're doing it on the phone because the computer behind the phone, which the phone is sitting on, wasn't working with the live stream. So I hope it turned out all right. We'll eventually be making a full-on video of the boat so that you guys can see it once we've got all the upgrades made. We'll be doing a renaming ceremony, and it'll be great! I'm so excited to have that boat. Just have the boat, but also to fix it up to where we want to get it. Do you have any last words?
Nope, just that's pretty
Thanks
much
for
it. But
watching.
thanks for watching. Nice to virtually meet you all and seeing you around.
Take care of all of yourselves. Will do. We'll stay healthy. You stay healthy. Go out there and do something that challenges you and makes you a better person, and hopefully makes you learn something. We're gonna go back to the boat, probably go to sleep, and then wake up and keep working on the boat. It's raining. We did a bunch of varnishing today, and we've got a little bit more varnishing and sealing to do tomorrow, but we're so close. And then haul out the boat, fix everything, paint the deck, make it look all pretty, and then onward and upward, eastward to hopefully Israel. Peace. Big love.